warm greetings, and I welcome you all to a very special meet of very niche people. I'm really honored to have you all here. As we are in Hyderabad, I think we have done really good. We are 15 minutes late. Not bad, but I have to say that it gives me a great happiness and pleasure because we had an election yesterday, and then we have someone I have great respect, and I think one of the persons we will learn many things from him. Highly qualified person. You will hardly find anyone in I think Indian bureaucracy who was both IIM and IIT, have 30 years of amazing experience, and then joined politics and special minister representing the Telangana government. Please give a round of applause. I'd like to welcome Mr. Pujawar. He has 8 schools which are well known all over Hyderabad, and you will know about him as we go along. I welcome my dear friend, and I hope you will visit his school, which has a Cambridge curriculum. Students go to NASA and various other places. He has done incredible work in the world of education. I welcome Mr. Khan. I called him Mr. Amir. He's popular with that. You can give it around. Okay, now I'll quickly introduce to 2 minutes so that we can start. If with your permission, yeah, I'd like you to know whom I'm having here. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce a very dear friend of mine, but he's also someone I always seek his advice. He's a top financial advisor and consultant, and I'm so thankful he came all the way only for attending this event. Mr. Sriveda, thank you very much, sir. So you can wave your hand. All right. Now we have a prince from the royal family. He is also a hotelier. He started his restaurants recently. His grandmom is actually the granddaughter of His Excellency Nizam, and I think we should all go and she has made some special recipes. They have a new restaurant at road number 12. You will know about him, but I would like Prince Zamir to wave his hand. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if we need any kind of a beauty stuff, there is a guy in Hyderabad who invents machines. Can you believe it? He actually he's a top guy. He exports. I request Mr. Amit, who is the CEO of Casino, to wave his hand. He has an entourage of ladies who wanted to come here and give testimonials for him, but I said, it's a very niche meeting, so maybe next time you and me can meet them. All right. Now, this is an entrepreneur I like to personally introduce. He happens, interesting. He's a gold business entrepreneur, and he's done really big in his business. Very good speaker, but he happens to be my student. And this is something I believe 10 years ago. 10 years has passed now. All right, and I think I'm getting younger by the day, as you put on. So my student Rahul Jain, but also a very successful entrepreneur. I have with us 2 people from the British Council Association of British Scholars, Professor Lakshmi, who is double MBA from UK, and General Secretary of Association of British Scholars. He's also a boxer. He looks innocent, but he's not. He's an entrepreneur. He has many centers where he trains boxing. He recently had a state-of-the-art in Jubilee Hills. Thanks, Harsh, for coming. And then a friend of mine who is also a CEO of a company, and she's a chartered accountant, Rajapal. You can wave your hand. I'll go a little bit back, and a friend of mine who does a lot of social work, we'll know more about him, Mr. Rahman. You can wave your hand. He's also CEO of a company. CEO of Insta9, a friend of mine, and excellent entrepreneur, Mr. Omar. And Ms. Humaira is the CEO of Dr. Mushrooms, and you should. I love those chocolates what they are exporting, and that is so good for your health. I hope you got some for us.
Not
an academic entrepreneur from Bangalore. He does mostly for Russia and various countries. Thank you very much for coming. And then I have, again, very interesting person I just met a few days ago. And it's amazing the way she keeps herself fit. She's a celebrity fashion designer. And thank you so much for coming, Hyatt. You can wave your hand. Okay, now we have with us, this young, dynamic lady. She is a boxer. Again, Amruta, you can wave your hand. Yeah, nobody will mess with you today. All right, anybody flirts, I'm telling you beforehand, don't mess with her. Thanks, Amruta. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a very special person I'd like to introduce is Sarita. Sarita, you can wave your hand. She cannot speak and listen, but she has won many awards. She's an excellent dancer and an artist.
Part of this amazing dream to bring sports and entertainment news from all over the world to the one platform. And it's a highlighting trend center. We give promotions to the
for splashing, and especially digital splashing all over the internet. It's a very strategic level we work on. And about today's session, Professor Lakshmi will start the talk. I request you to please welcome Professor Lakshmi. Thank you.
It is said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, do more, learn more, and become more, you are a leader. And it is innovation that distinguishes a leader from his follower. So good afternoon, and a very warm welcome to the leaders of today, the visionaries of yesterday who have paved the way for what you are today. Each one of you who have assembled here, you are a leader. And a very warm welcome, I, Lakshmi Dipani, on behalf of ZSC TV, welcome you to the Leadership Summit and Awards. So what is it that makes one a leader? Any guesses? All the leaders here? Influence, all right? Any skill? What are the skills that you require to be a leader? Leading skills, team management, people management skills, leadership skills. Inspiration, yes. Innovation, good.
Risk.
Sorry?
Risk.
Yes, risk. Taking the risk, yes, perfect. And? Think differently, wow, very good, perfect. So if you take a look at each one of you here, each one of you has that plethora of skills which are required to be a leader. The thing is, you excel in one of these and you have the others in about the 90%. But what makes you different in that one particular skill? As she's rightly said, it is innovation. The innovation that you have, the innovation that you bring to the field in your particular skill, that is maybe the strategic management, the people management, team management, your behavioral skill, your leadership skill, negotiation, risk management, all these. It is the innovation that you bring to the foremost that is what differentiates you from the rest of the team. We are all leaders, but each one of us has the innovation in that particular key factor in us. And so, a very warm welcome once again to the innovators of today. This is your day, the Leadership Summit and Awards, where you come with your plethora of skills and take away the best. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome again.
It was brief and lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request a very beautiful fashion designer for celebrities. She herself looks like a celebrity. I'd like to request Ms. Khash to please come over here. Please give a round of applause to her. I have to wear my flattery. I'm habituated, got it from England.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, so this is my first time and I'm a bit nervous. Fashion designing plays a very important role in everybody's life. Though we say that we are not fashionable and I'm not someone who would like to wear some kind of clothes or colors, no, it does plays. And the way we dress explains what kind of a person you are. The colors that you choose are the mood swings that comes out. And fashion is something that has an art in it. A designer puts his heart and soul and complete designing in it, which plays a very important role for every individual we dress up as. Thank you, Mr. Zia, for having me here. I'm honored to be a part of this event, and thank you, everyone.
And we hope we'll look forward to more interactions with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite our keynote speaker. He had a long journey though, but I'm really honored. I request Mr. Balakrishna, partner Deloitte, to please come over here.
Good afternoon to everyone, and thank you very much, Zia. You've been bashing me saying that you're coming overnight. I'm still in India, so it'll take some more time before we get out of the jet lag. Thank you very much. I didn't know that, Zia, you caught me on a wrong foot saying that a keynote address. I was thinking that all the gentlemen here would be doing the keynote address and I will be only listening. So, I was then asked Zia that, what I'm going to talk. He says, you've got 5 minutes, talk about leadership skills. So, as an accountant, I always go back and say, write down, I said, what is a leadership skill all about and who is a leader? And someone said that innovation is a leadership. That's one aspect of it. But just think about this, a leader is one which I believe, and leadership styles are different, leadership behaviors are different. Everyone is a leader, you are a leader. The person who's working in a store is a leader. So everyone is a leader. So what distinguishes him or her as a leader? The first thing which I believe is the manner in which you communicate. Right? If you communicate the manner in which the other person receives it, that distinguishes him as a part of a leader. The second thing in any organization, what do you need? Somebody to motivate you, somebody to pat you and say, listen, how was your day? How are things with you? How's the work? I mean, leader can say that, this is your task, this you need to do it. But suppose somebody comes and pats you and says, let me do one thing, do it differently. So if you can motivate, then probably you would be a very good leader. The other aspect of it, which is often unheard of, is delegating. But if you see today's scenario, right, while we might say everything is delegated, really you don't delegate. You only direct. You say you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, and still you go back and say you do this, and do this. I think delegation is something which starts with having trust. So if you have trust from the person, then you start delegating. And I think delegation and directions are two different things. But we still say, I'm a leader and I'm delegating it. And elections is one great thing. The other one thing which is very important is creativity. Somebody talked about fashion. Somebody talked about a statement saying that innovation, creativity. You need to bring something, some new life into this. Like Zia called up and said, let me ask this person who's going to talk today. He brings in that confidence. He says, are you nervous? He says, no, I'm not nervous. I'm nervous. But just think about it. So you create something which is different. Do not have something in your thing which you have been routinely, you keep doing things. Do something which is different. Give the feedback. Don't go back and say, you've done a great job. If he's really done a great job, say so. But if he's done a bad job, don't say you've done a bad job, but do it differently, saying that you could have done better. So there is this concept of a feedback which keeps going back, whether it's a positive feedback or a negative feedback. There's nothing called a positive or a negative. It's affirmative or developing somebody. So these are some things which you need to look at. Responsibility. Being a leader doesn't mean that I delegate everything. I have the best of the guys, best of the crews, best of the things to take care of it. But it's also the responsibility that I need to take care, whether you're in an organization, whether you're with a team, whether you're with leaders, or with anybody else. then the commitment. You cannot be saying that I'm the leader, but I don't have a commitment. A commitment is not only to the organization, a commitment is to your own self, that I will lead it in this manner, I will lead the team, I will lead the task, and I will deliver it. Finally, a leader should be flexible. He cannot be rigid. There are rigid leaders, there are various leadership styles, but if you're flexible, it allows people to come back, embrace you. The day you don't ask the people to embrace you, all this summit will be only on the camera, nothing more else. And Zia is a great example of the flexibility of allowing his people to come and talk. I think, thank you so much, Zia. And I think I won't talk much more, but really appreciate all the entrepreneurs. I've been talking to some of them. It's really encouraging that we have talent. India has got talent. So is Hyderabad has got talent. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Done something that is into training, mostly on networking side. Apart from this, I do a lot of run a foundation in helping to hand the AR Foundation, work on 5 interventions, women empowerment, child education, orphanage assistance and all. And today is the Leaders Summit, so there are many leaders here. Leaders are born and already speak my. And I am very impressed with your speech and also.
I have to do this. Really impressed by, I met her about 2 years ago. I think she was 16 then. Yeah, and you are 18 now. Yeah, but I'm really looking forward for the class she's bringing, and at the national level she's playing. I request. Sorry.
Good afternoon, everyone. I can't speak about leadership, but I can speak about sports. Anyone, if you want, you can say or ask anyone about sports.
We don't want to mess with you. Today, at least.
Yeah.
What's been your, basically, given in India, being a girl, getting into boxing, what's your story?
Okay, my story is nothing but amazing story, of course. Actually, I like modeling and like designing, but I didn't. And it was my father's dream, which I want to come true and do that. I was like 13, I think. I started boxing. I don't know what is boxing. Just I know to stand like this and you have to kill someone or beat someone. So that I have my friend Harsh Bhaiya, so you can come here and show something. For punches in boxing, it is important for us. Like first of all, left. This is left, and this is the right, and this is hook, and this is the uppercut. These are the 4 punches, and mainly left is very important. It is called like jab. In like abroad countries, it is called the jab. And what is it? You can ask anything. Anything, sir?
How do you relate yourself to the story?
I come from very small family where girls are not allowed to play or wear something like this or do something like great things. They are just like to marry and make family and something like that. It all goes to my father, who is motivating me, my father and my family, of course, my teachers and all, my school friends. It was very different. Like first I played nationals here itself, Telangana, and I won silver in national school games. I just went to my home, not my home, like a street, and there was a few people who just like that girl is playing something like that and wearing some kind of dress, and they just dislike my father and saying something about me, and they started saying that girls can't do this and all that. My father was okay, don't look like that. My father was like, okay, chodo ye sab and focus on your boxing, so that you will be something that people stop saying this all. And of course, I'll start doing fashion designing, of course, with my friend. and modeling, of course. So thank you. Zia, so thank you for calling me. Thank you.
It's lovely to see such a kid being very passionate of what she loves to do, and she's trying to express herself. We've seen her grow. I was in the same training camp as when she was training with India's ex-chief coach, Mr. Chiranjeevi sir. It's we have to give a round of applause to her because she's grown up from a kid to something talented. Now she's trying to encourage other kids as well. She goes around different schools motivating a lot of kids.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite a doctor who is also an entrepreneur, who is one of the leading into the dentist industry. I would request Dr. Zamir to please come over here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My respect and regards to the dignitaries on the stage and other eminent men and female who are there. Each one of you, I believe, is a successful person in his life. Someone was asking me what is the definition of a leader. My definition of a leader is one who has a willing heart with a positive attitude and who desires to make a difference with a belief in himself. Ultimately, this is the belief which catches on with the rest of the people. They join in, and as it is said, अकेला ही चल पड़ा था जाने में मंजिल मगर लोग आते गए कारवां बनता गया. Most of the success stories have this small template. My success story, or I believe Smilon success story, has a similar template. I'm Dr. Zamir. I'm the founder and chairman of Smilon Group of Clinics. We are a state-of-art 8 dental care centers spread across the western part of Hyderabad. We want to bring in quality healthcare to our patrons based on impeccable trust, transparent and consistent treatment protocols, which is as per the international standards, with 18 years of proven professional experience, which I have. Our desire is to blend science with art and ethics, because ethics is very important in the field what I am, because the basic premise of any relationship with a doctor and a patient is a complete trust, which the doctor should never violate. That has been my work ethic all my life. That is what I wanted to bring into my clinics, where we want to bring in the efficiency and the excellence of tertiary healthcare, which is highest possible healthcare, to the affordability and widespread availability of primary healthcare. This combination we want to bring in so that every section of the population gets quality healthcare, because I believe quality healthcare is an extension of right to life itself, which is the fundamental right of any human being. The team which I chose for Smilon is a mix of experience and the vigor of youth, which represent the composite dynamics of young India. A young India which is restless to spread its wings to horizons, newer horizons, so as to interact with global counterparts with respect, warmth, and confidence in their abilities, so as to leave a mark of excellence or mark of its merit in the less explored, I will not say non-explored, but less explored alleys of global village. Ultimately, we are becoming a global village where we have to learn from each other's cultures, what makes us better nations, so that we learn from each other's strengths, learn from each other's mistakes, and emerge as better nations, better societies, and eventually better human beings. We want to expand ourselves to all the young, thriving metros of India, so as to bring in affordable healthcare there. Same time, we want to go to the rural hinterlands and address one of the 3 problems which I believe is the reason for urban migration. One is education, second one is employment, third one is healthcare. I'm not good enough to provide education or employment, but what I can do is a decent quality healthcare in the rural sector, so that it acts as a trigger for the rural economy, so as to make a better India, a competent India, and a quality India. Third, we also want to cement India's position as a premier medical tourism hub, because Indian doctors come in with some amount of specialities, which is very rare, because we generally provide positive treatments, we don't really hide behind the diagnostics and technology the way Western counterparts are there. I believe Indians have to use this advantage so that medical tourism becomes a thriving industry in India. And one of my dreams is to make an impact in that thriving industry. I hope I have made an impact on you people with this short presentation, and it was really worth listening to a lot of these success stories, and hopefully I go from here as a better human being. Thank you Zia, for calling me, and thank you very much.
That's my profession, my passion. I'm a motivational speaker. Adolf Hitler once said, "People may not believe what you say, but they will believe what you do." Good afternoon, dignitaries and dear guests. It is an honor to be speaking here at this leadership summit. If I look at any great leader, for that matter, anyone, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, or the international ones, anyone that you can think of, even the ones on the other extreme of Adolf Hitler or Osama bin Laden, if you talk of leadership, at the heart of leadership, one element that we've already discussed is influence. Influencing with an intention to inspire people to think of the ability to do things that they could not imagine, or making them believe things that they could not even imagine to do at all. And that's where I believe each one of us, in different roles that we play, be it managing a company in the director position that you're holding, or the different leaders that we have today. If you talk of the different positions that you are holding, or even at the ground level, being a parent, each one of us is influencing. And that is where I believe influencing is at the heart of leadership. And now, the important thing is, when you talk of influencing, there's one thumb rule that I've always believed, which is the most authoritative and authentic style of influencing. Because if this is not there, every other aspect that you talk of leadership, you talk of strategy, you talk of thought process, of anything that you want to influence people, if this element is missing, I believe leadership will fail. And that one element that I'm talking of is leading by example. And that is where being what you want others to be, believing yourself in what you want others to believe in, is the answer to good leadership. And here, just to note a point, I've always been fascinated with this one incident of Abdul Kalam, wherein much before he became the Dr. Abdul Kalam, he was the project director at the first time when ISRO was launching the rocket. In 1979, when the first launch of ISRO failed, the then chairman, Dr. Satish Dhawan, came up to him, being the project director. He was scared with the failure of what happened and why it happened, but he still believed in his team. And that's when Dr. Satish Dhawan came forward and said to Dr. Abdul Kalam that, let me take up the press conference, and he went on and took the responsibility for the failure. And 1 year later, exactly 1 year later, when that project succeeded, India launched the ISRO, the satellite. When the project succeeded in 1980, Satish Dhawan then went to Abdul Kalam and said, please take on the press conference and believe, and you say that you have made this successful. And that is where we are talking of much back when Dr. Abdul Kalam was a learner. He saw this example, that what leadership is, and he imbibed that, and he became what he saw as an example. And that is what I have always believed. People may not believe what you say, but they will believe what you do. So be a good example if, and in any format that you want to bring about a change, at your family level, at a state level, at a country level, at a social level, at every facet, if at all you wish to be a leader, the first and the foremost thing that you need to do is to be a good example. Thank you.
And recently happened to win the Mrs. Universe Successful 2018 title in Philippines. Got appointed as the Peace Ambassador for India by CPS Sri Lanka, and I stand before you today as a humble Indian and a proud mother and a woman. I started my journey post my engineering. I'm an engineering graduate, a gold medalist from Bangalore University in industrial engineering. And I moved on to join the corporate sector. Was there for 15 years with some of the finest organizations like Oracle and ADP. And then the mundane tasks of a regular job that I was doing was not exciting because I had already stepped into motherhood and I chose to take a sabbatical. I was very artistic as a child, and I knew that somewhere down the line perseverance is something which is innate to me. So I went on to explore the artistic side within me. I found Serendipity, which is a social entrepreneurship enterprise. This was way back in 2012. We create recycled art and installation art and provided sustainable solutions and livelihood to a group of people and artisans based in Hyderabad. Having said that and done so forth and been an international speaker for India for the Women Economic Forum for a couple of years, I did find myself again at a career crossroad wherein I was presented with the opportunity to take part in the Mrs. India pageant. And that's where came the challenge again. There I was, 5 feet 2 inches tall, with no experience whatsoever in the glamour field, never walked the ramp. I had seen the mic, I'd seen the stage, I've done it all, but no experience. So how do I do it? There I was. And the first thing that read on my application was Hyderabad. And people were like, okay, she's not from Delhi? No. So she comes from Telangana, a newly formed state. Will she be able to do it? Should we give her an opportunity? I took that up as a challenge, of course. Because I was taken up with the fact, like my father always says, that he's been building a legacy for himself, and we two girls are his legacy. So to keep that foot forward, I went ahead and filled up an application form and went through the auditions. I won the Mrs. India Universe International in 2017, and being the only social entrepreneur there, with no experience whatsoever, I knew that if I do make it further ahead, I will be representing my country at an international platform as being the only one, the only social entrepreneur to do so. Went on to win the Mrs. India Universe International, Mrs. India Universe Iconic Eyes, Hyderabad, Telangana, Mrs. World India 2018. And there again I was, filling up another form to represent my nation, India, my state Telangana, and my city Hyderabad at the Mrs. Universe pageant 2018 in Philippines in Cebu. What was very different there was when I walked onto the arena, there were 88 participating nations. And you had all these beautiful women from across the globe competing with you. And of course, I did have that sudden step back when you say, oh my God, where am I? Am I at the right place? Am I going to be able to make it and win that crown for my country? Well, I called up my dad and I said, Dad, you know what? This is where I am and this is the biggest challenge that I'm facing. And he looked at me and said, what they have done is their achievement. What you're going to go ahead and do is yours. So I take pride in it, being an Indian woman, and especially from the city. Into the finale, won the Mrs. Universe successful title, the first ever in the history, 40 years, we never won the title for our country. Bring that back to my city in December. I call myself an explorer because I paved my own path. I typically believe in being my own kind of Cinderella and breaking the glass shoes, so that's what I did. And so, I stand before you with immense humility and immense pride, of course, to bring the crown title to my nation and as the Peace Ambassador for India, CPS.
Good afternoon, everybody. Dignitaries, the real entrepreneurs and leaders. I am delighted to be among the leaders of Hyderabad and Telangana. I thank you, Zia, for inviting me. Recently, I watched a video. It was on the existing education system. It was saying that the education system globally does not educate people to become leaders or entrepreneurs. Rather than it is designed to educate people to be employees, workers, white collar or blue collar. So we need more entrepreneurs, we need more leaders I think we need to revise our education system in all countries to encourage people to be more forward-looking, more open-minded, more technology-oriented, and also socially and environmentally responsible. I am coming from a developing country. India is a rapidly growing economy. What I observe, our people, our private sector, they are really vibrant. They are open to innovations. And a lot of entrepreneurship spirit I see there. I think we can do a lot of things together, cooperate in many sectors, industry, trade, business, finance, tourism. So we can increase cooperation and we can create win-win solutions. So I am always at your disposal as you are the leaders and entrepreneurs. I am the bureaucrat. You can approach me, whatever you would like to ask or you would like to connect. Please don't hesitate. I am always here at your disposal. I thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's really, whenever I come over here, I learn certain things and go here. It's always your events are really special and you know, always inspiring. See, the leadership. It's a big ocean. I mean, it's very difficult to define what exactly the leadership is, but as the Excellency was mentioning about it, you know, the educational system today, mostly it is, you know, it is being designed in such a way that it's only develops the employees, not the employers or not entrepreneurs. Whenever I get an opportunity to go to these schools or the colleges, I ask only one question. How many of you want to become an entrepreneur? The first question, the first answer it comes is, Sir, I mean, it's a very, you know, we need some support, we need some, you know, we need a lot of courage to do that and all. See, there's not much difference between an employee and an employer. It's only a mindset. You don't require any capital also to become an entrepreneur. So, the leaders who are here, what I request you is, inspire the people, whomever you meet, especially whenever you meet the budding, you know, the youth. Sit with them and inspire them. And with your inspiration, if two people become the entrepreneurs, whatever the Kalam, the dreams, you know, I wanted to see that India is a developed nation. I wanted to see that India is, you know, ruling the world. That will definitely is going to happen. And that is only the reason you used to go and sit with the kids. Whereas if this 5 lakhs, 500,000, the students, if they really understand this language, they'll take care of my country. That was Abdul Kalam's dream. So, the leadership, again, you know, we need to go out and speak on about this and inspire the people. It is not a big science. It's not a rocket science. It's influencing the people and doing something different. I'm standing here, but when I started my career, I started with the 2,000 rupees, and the two, if I do the 4 units in a month, and then I'll get a salary of the 2,000 rupees. I'm from a very backward area of Telangana, and no one was there in my family in the business sector, and no one was there to guide me at that point of time. I used to come from Warangal to Hyderabad in a bus, and go in the evening in the last the train. But every month it was like what is the difference I'm going to make it from the last month to this month and this month to next month, and how I'm developing the business, the family, that is my team. Now we created a trend in real estate. Such India is a brand, Such India is a trend today. I can challenge that no one can compete with me in the real estate sector as a leader. There's not in other sector, but at least in real estate, I can proudly say that no one can compete with me as far as the leadership is concerned. I mean, I develop thousands and thousands of people. So what I wanted to tell you is, when a person standing in front of you in real estate sector, he can do with a lot of technological support and a lot of information available online. You can do a lot of things, and you can give that as an example. So Zia, it's a wonderful program, and really I thank for inviting me to this.
Thank you, Dr. Zia, for inviting myself and a couple of my colleagues from our inward investment team at the British Deputy High Commission, which I think by now everybody knows exists here in Hyderabad and is only about 150 meters from this place in the Taj Deccan Hotel. I've been traveling actually for the last 3 weeks. I haven't been to the Antarctica, but I have been to 114 countries, so I think I've seen a bit of the world in my time. Unfortunately, it's meant that I haven't had much time to plan what I'm going to say, so we call it winging it, which is a British saying for trying to make things work as you go along. I'm sure that many of you that studied in the UK will have heard that term. Anyway, this is the third event I've come to today, the third outfit I've had to wear. And obviously the theme is leadership. So let's, rather than listen to me all the time, let's see what type of education does a leader need? Does a leader need to finish his school? Yes or no? Please don't be silent. I'm sure you can understand the question. So does a leader need to finish his school? If he does, put your hand up. Nobody thinks he needs to finish his school. That's good. So what does he need to be? What does he need to do? Huh?
He should understand his skill.
He should understand
His core skill.
And what does he need by way of education?
He should understand experience.
He should understand life. That's a really good answer. And everybody, I assume everybody agrees that a leader should understand life. Is there anything to add to that? Is that it?
Any pain points here he's solving?
Pardon?
Any pain points he's solving?
Any?
Pain points.
Pain points.
Real life problems.
Oh, okay. So if he has problems, he has to solve them.
Real life problems.
His own problems, you mean?
No.
Real life problems.
Real life problems. So he needs to have experience of dealing with real life problems. Is that the point? Yeah? Okay, I think that's a good one too. Anyone else? Okay, I think between the two of you, you pretty much nailed it from my point of view. There's people that talk about leadership and travel around the world and show off their list of qualifications. I met somebody just a couple of weeks ago that had been studying leadership for 20 years, but I'm not sure if he could lead a crowd down the street and achieve very much. For myself, I left school below the age that you're required to complete school now in the UK. I didn't go to any university, so I don't have any first degree, master's, doctorate, no. Definitely I travelled 114 countries, as I said And hopefully I can build on that while I'm in India and go to a few more. So I've seen the world, seen life. I always tell people when they say which university you go to, which is the question I hate most. Yes, I went to the University of Life. And I get some strange looks. Some people get it, some people don't. But I do think you can learn an awful lot from traveling, or if you can't travel, if not everybody has the means to travel, at least making the effort to meet as many different people from as many different backgrounds as you can. I think my one piece of advice in life is every single person you meet is an opportunity. Of course, you can't engage every opportunity that you meet because there's so many of us. Even within this room, I've had some detailed conversations with a number of you over the last 3 or 4 times I've been to these events, but I can never hope to do all. But every time you find yourself sitting next to somebody on a plane, sitting next to somebody at a conference, and you have some time, don't sit there on your phone playing whatever the latest game is or sending emails to your friends. Take time to talk to that person, because I can guarantee there'll be something about that person that will remain with you, that will inform you. It can be a positive or a negative process, but I think it's something that, for me, has really worked in my time. And then in terms of being a leader itself, what are the qualities that are most important to you for a leader? What do you think? Shout out some. Integrity, yes. More? Come on, otherwise you'll all go to sleep. I know what it's like after lunch, and you've heard a few speakers. I want people to engage. What other qualities make a good leader?
Patience.
Huh?
Patience.
Patience. Someone else. Ma'am?
Motivator, influencer.
Motivator, influencer, yes. More?
Foresight.
Foresight.
Approachable and knowledgeable.
Approachable, knowledgeable, yeah.
Committed.
Committed, mm-hmm. Yes.
Positivity.
Huh?
Positivity. Positivity.
Productivity.
Positivity.
Positivity. Yeah, I can agree. Okay, with all of those. I wrote down, my microphone's half dead, I think the battery's going. I think a good leader has to have emotional intelligence. Understand and read other people, because every single person is different, as I've already alluded to. And you need to know how to get the best out of every person, which you can't do if you treat them all in the same way, as brilliant and as inspiring and whatever else as you might be. You have to read the people, read their body language, read into what they're saying to you, what they are telling you. And I think you have to make them believe that you want to help them. Not only make them believe, I think you have to genuinely have that in your heart, that you want to help the people that see you as a leader. So that's the first thing that I would have said. The second one, which wasn't mentioned either, was listening, which sounds very obvious, but I've met a number of so-called leaders in my 32, I think it is, or 33 years, I think now, in the British Civil Service, who don't listen. And let me tell you that having a leader that doesn't listen is a disaster. You have to listen. You have to listen to other people. You have to be open to other views. You might not agree with them. You might have to influence. That was one of the words that came out of this. But you might have to influence and encourage and persuade and inspire them that your view is ultimately the right view. But if you don't engage other people in whatever your vision might be, whether you're just with a small startup and 2 or 3 people working for you, or whether you're the MD of a huge company which is having to go through change and restructuring, the same skill applies. You have to listen, and it has to be proper listening, not pretend listening and being on your phone half the time and being otherwise distracted for the other half. And I think the other one, for me, a good leader has to motivate the people around them. And again, motivation might be helping somebody get on with their career, but not everybody wants that. People want different things. People have all kinds of different things that excite them and motivate them. And if you can give them that, then I think you collectively will have a very loyal group of people working under your organisation, whatever that organisation may be. But I think everything else I heard shouted out, I don't disagree with any of it. Integrity and commitment and all of these things are equally very important. I just thought I would share my own personal thoughts on that topic. And at the same time, if you're a leader, I think you also struggle with a lot of things. I mean, you have to know yourself, where your faults are, where your shortcomings are. For me, I get impatient. If something doesn't happen quickly, I get very frustrated very quickly. But you have to be able to hide it. You have to bury it somehow, somewhere. I've got two of my team here, and they're hearing this for the first time because I don't normally confess. But as it's a special gathering, I thought I would. I don't know if they see that I'm frustrated too often. Of course, they won't admit it if they do, but they're laughing, which is good, because I think it's also good to make people laugh. So as far as leadership is concerned, that's it. I will mention that despite the fact I didn't get to study in a great British university, the universities in my country are definitely among the best in the world. As I said, some of you love UK and studied there. Others may aspire to do so. We have our Achieving Scholarship that comes around every year. It's not open at the moment now. We're processing the last batch of applications, but that is for leaders. That is 1 year of study in the UK to do a master's programme, everything included, valued at around £30,000 for exceptional leaders. And every year we advertise via our social media and via other means that is open. It usually opens around August, shuts around November. And then during the course of the year there are other short achieving fellowships in different areas, cybersecurity, leadership. There's one for the press. There's a couple of others. It does vary each year slightly as to what we offer. And again, it takes groups of people to the UK for between 6 weeks and 3 months. And you're based at one of the real top universities. Oxford is one of the ones that participates for the leaders. And it's another really great opportunity for particularly targeted groups. So, you know, I encourage you to be aware of those, to look out for those. We do advertise it on all of our UK and India handles at the appropriate times, so do keep an eye out. And just a brief mention of my colleagues Darren and Sadat, who are sitting here. They lead an investment into the UK. So if you have any questions on investing in the UK and so on, then please do catch them after the formalities of this session are over. They'll be happy to talk to you about that in more detail, because I believe there are equally many exciting opportunities in that regard too. Thank you very much, and congratulations to all who are going to be winning awards this afternoon.
Already introduced you, but let me introduce you again. A phenomenal person who is an engineer from IIT and then IIM, and then has done more than 30 years of service for this nation, and now a special minister from Telangana government. I request Mr. Tejawat to please come over here and speak. And it's an honor, sir, for me to host you, and I have learned so many things from you, especially the simplicity. And the best thing, you know, usually the ministers in Hyderabad I have seen, you know, nobody will meet you at 8 o'clock in the morning. And you know, he's the person who meets you at 8 o'clock, but not just meet you, greet you, welcome you, and offer you a coffee. All right? And then give you so many ideas how your business can grow in this state. So I think that we are really honored to have you in Telangana, and I'm sure the state will grow with you. I give the mic to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jia. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think I probably look very odd man out amongst you with all black ties and black dress, and I'm the only person talked about with white. This is my 4th inning of my life. The corporate, then the bureaucracy, social service, and now into politics. So this is a good thing, and for a new state of Telangana, this is a baby state, just 5-year-old. And on this occasion, I'm very happy to be midst of many leaders from different walks of life. Excellencies on dais from Turkey, of course from Belgium, Bordeaux, India, and my own Warangal. So we met earlier, Romana here, and Excellency Andrew Fleming. I think I just want to mention to him, Kiran, when he mentioned that our education system, before I talk about normal things, I will forget otherwise. It's a legacy left for us, having the education system, though had illustriousness in the world. People from the world over, they used to gather in India for getting educated, or Nalanda and Takshila. But things have changed and then converged into, we started getting educated only to serve the mighty. On that occasion, Excellency Andrew Fleming will excuse me. I was addressing last year in the House of Lords the impact of Brexit and what India can do. So while mentioning that everything what they are missing of Brexit, as India and particularly Telangana can substitute. So the one other friend, he asked me, he said, sir, the story which you told regarding the fight for independence, why you are not telling here. So I just want to repeat for you and also for the friends. I think that we're fighting for independence, and then what role our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, has played, and the rest of freedom fighters. So subsequently, after India won the independence and we got it, somebody at the time, father of the nation was no more. So they went and told that father of the nation made a mistake. I said, what happened? Why did he ask for independence? I don't know how many of you are aware that Commonwealth nation citizens have a right to vote in England. You know that? You know? Oh, I'm happy that you all know. Many of our friends who are living there do not know. You can contest elections also today. Few things I would like to talk about. A lot of leadership being talked to here. Yes, it's a leadership. Many things, parameters which are mentioned, but I want to just sum it up. It's just situational. A leader in politics cannot be maybe a good doctor, and a good doctor cannot be a social entrepreneur. Social entrepreneur cannot run a hotel, and a hotelier cannot be when we sell gold, and gold cannot be a fashion designer. It's a different thing. It's a situational. Person to person difference and situation to situation. Now, what is the common parameters we have all spoken? And so how can each of them can do excellently well? Now, there are special parameters required for each of those situations. It could be a gram panchayat, it could be running a country, it could be running a organization, it can be running a diplomatic office here. Each one requires a different parameters, and how you understand those things and manage, that makes a difference. Being a good dentist cannot be a good hotelier, and good hotelier cannot be running a gold shop, and gold shop cannot be this. This is where I thought I'll just mention briefly, having spent my life since 1998 in promoting industries in the state of Odisha, in India, and now Telangana. So these are the few things which I learned, and I'm happy that I missed you, and I learned a lot of things from you. Then coming to Telangana, friends, this is a new state, and most of it Telangana, I'm really happy to hear from Excellency Andrew Fleming saying that Andarki Namaskaram in Telugu. It's a good thing which has started. Thank you from entire 3.5 crores of Telanganites and the Telugu's excellency in that. Friends, this state, I work in Delhi, between a bridge between Delhi and Hyderabad on behalf of Telangana. So about 20 days I spent in Delhi and only 10 days in Telangana, Hyderabad, and rest part of the places. Even now requires a lot of things to be done for this state. Many people mistake in Delhi saying that no, you have Hyderabad, so you are one of the richest state in the country. No, sir. It's only Hyderabad is one of the 10 undivided districts, and rest of the 9 districts are as poor as any part of those Bimaru states called Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Odisha. Very, very backward. And lot is required to be done, and we need entrepreneurs in each aspect of those things. It could be schooling, education, it could be healthcare, it could be sanitation, it could be drinking water, it could be agriculture, it could be industries and whatnot. Yeah. And that's where we welcome you all, and through you, many people from this country and rest part of the world, and I request 3 of them who represent different countries here. I think you represent only our countries, but not in Telangana. So that's why I'm saying, Excellencies, is that there is a great thing to be done, and that's where few things I mentioned in the House of Lords, what India and specifically Telangana can do. A lot of things can we do in education, in making steel, healthcare, on many things, ITSC. Now, as far as opportunities here is concerned in Telangana, you have plenty of them. Now, to mention few things about is that, since I am in Delhi, there is hardly any award function. I repeat, there is hardly any award function in Delhi where Telangana's name is not there. Today. And this is the best achievement we could do in the last 5 years. And thanks to people of Telangana and people like all of you who have done proud. Maybe it could be industry, it could be healthcare, it could be sanitation, it could be education, or not. A long way to go for us. Very, very long way to go. The few things I would like to mention is that we have been standing 1, 2, 3 in any point of time. The World Bank and our Ministry of Industry evaluates called ease of doing business. We stand 1, 2, or 3. Maybe Gujarat sometime, maybe Andhra Pradesh sometime, and Telangana sometime, 1, 2, 3. Ease of doing business. And as far as those who are concerned about the industries, we have got an industrial policy called TSI Pass. Kindly Google it if you have not done it, and indicate to you what facility we are extending, how much time it will take to you to get your clearances, where to get land, how much time it will take for you to get electricity and water. And I assure you that, except in the cases where the Government of India's clearances are not required, you can get the clearances within 15 days, 1-5. And it is not an executive instructions I mentioned here, it is a law. It is an act of State Assembly of Telangana, which says that in 15 days, if you do not hear anything from us, from the bureaucracy or office, the 16th day you can be deemed to have been approved and you can go with the work. Nowhere in this country does this exist. Where I worked, my Karma Bhumi of Odisha, we had executive instructions, but it was not being followed in letter and spirit, but here it is being done. So the one thing I would like you to do is just have a look at it. And then we have about 1.5 to 2 lakh acres of land in our land bank. You can choose where you want to have pick up one of them, make application, and like you're buying your airplane ticket or a payment for a hotel, you can pay through your bank card, the 10% of it, and you can book it. And within about 2 to 3 weeks or a month, you will hear from the land department called TSIIC, the allocation made to you. They may call you for some small presentation or discussion about the project and why you require so much of land, and then allot it to you. Water, we can give it to you, what are the quantity of water. And this is the only state, after Himachal Pradesh, you have a 24/7 electricity. The first summer of 2015, we could provide 24/7 electricity. Even the questions are asked me in Delhi. He said, sir, how could you make it? You don't produce so much of power. Yours is not a per surplus state, but how could you make it? So that's the secret for us. But today we provide to industry, to commerce, agriculture and domestic 24/7. If some tippings are there in the area where you are living, it could be because of local problems and not because of want of power. This is the best thing, and for industries, I don't think there can be a better news than this. And in fact, I challenge, and the new industry are coming saying that you don't go for substitute power system, that is power generators. That much money you can save, I can give provide that. And in fact, soon we are going to have 2 grids supplying to Hyderabad, particularly Cyberabad, for electronic and IT industries. There will be connectivity of power from 2 grids. Even if one fails, the second will immediately take over that. And that's the beauty of physics. And then we have the ecosystem of Hyderabad and Telangana, ecosystem, particularly industries. Many of persons who are sitting outside may not know at this stage. I thought I would mention to you here. And young and budding entrepreneurs, it's a good news for you to please pass it on to your friends and colleagues wherever you go. And I want you to be the ambassadors of Telangana to speak on our behalf in this language. One of them is that, IT and electronics, you are already aware of it. The best of the companies world over, I mean, you name it, Wipro or IBM and those guys are here. And they no center other places, but they started in Hyderabad, maybe a decade back. And everyone is here. Because of not only the water is good here, our land is good, but the environment is good here. The working environment is good and safe and secure. The data centers of the mightiest of the world, companies are storing their data in Hyderabad. Data centers are there. That means how secure they are feeling this place is. And that's why they come, not for any incentives you are indicated or seeing my face and your face. No. That's that they have evaluated this place. Hyderabad, that is the beauty of this place. It is centrally located for the country of India. Centrally located. Any part of the country, I can fly in 2 hours, less than 2 hours. Tell me any other place compared to this. And weather-wise, 10 months beautiful, except April and May. But there also I tell the people like you and I, hardly we walk on the streets. So it doesn't matter. Hotel is air conditioned, our car is air conditioned, our house is air conditioned, our office is air conditioned, including toilets are air conditioned. So why do you have a problem with that? Yes, on this score, Bangalore scores for me because it's called air-conditioned city. But I challenge them in the rest of the parameters to call it hub. Then, sir, defense, which we have been hearing for the last couple of months, including from surgical strike till today, the defense, right, sir, is a massive thing. Ecosystem exists today. Thanks to our DRDO labs, and I think somebody spoke here regarding Dr. Kalam, which has started the mightiest of the Agni missile, which I can fly from here 5,000 kilometers being manufactured in Hyderabad. And defense hub, Dubai, manufactured in this place. Then pharmaceuticals. We are setting up 19,000 acres of pharmaceutical. I would like all three of you to make note of it, sir. And you also, the doctor. 19,000 acres down south of Hyderabad from airport, 25 kilometers. And the mightiest of the companies, we are inviting them to have this place. And 1/4 of the bulk drugs in this country, both manufactured and exported from Hyderabad. And those insulins, the life science insulins, 1/3 of the world production goes from here. And there is a valley is there. I think it's the best of the products are being, research is being done. And then coming to the Hyderabad road, the ring road. How many of you have driven on the entire ring road? Entire ring road. 170 kilometers? I'm really happy. And rest of them I want you to, Excellency, I want you to drive about 176 kilometers. And I say now to the people who come new to this city, earlier they used to say that if you eat a biryani of Hyderabad and Gandipet water, you will never leave Hyderabad. Now I say biryani, Gandipet water, and one round of ring road, you will never leave it. And that is the opportunity available to you, sir, here. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many things to talk, but I think, Jia is getting a little restless because he said to speak, there is so much thing about Telangana to think. This is a synthesis of all cultures. There are people for generations living here without learning to know Telugu. But I think Excellency Andrew Fleming learned in, I think, within 1 year of being here, but there are generations of people living here, and that is the beauty of this Hyderabad. Ganga Jamuna ka tehzeeb hai, बहुत सारे हैं, but I think I will take another opportunity later on in a bigger summit to have it. Thank you very much, friend. Telangana welcomes you, welcomes with an open heart, and all the budding entrepreneurs, budding leaders. Please, you be my ambassador on behalf of my government. And should you visit anytime Delhi and you have any work, I'm saying any work, personal, including booking your tickets or hotels and transport, please feel free to talk to me. I'm sitting in Telangana Bhavan, Hyderabad. Since I work for my state of Telangana, I also work for the country. I'll definitely work for you. Thank you very much.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very much honored to share this award, with all the dignitaries. Andrew Fleming, my Deputy General Commissioner. As I'm running the schools, I'm the correspondent for VIPs International Schools, running 8 branches in the city. And recently, sorry? We know where to land. Yeah. And after listening to our Telangana minister, I'm very much inspired that inshallah, very soon I'm going to get the land from him for the next business college. I'm very much thankful to Mr. Zia and team. Inshallah, I don't want to take much team because I can see Mr. Zia is little panicked with the time.
The fish fingers are getting cold now.
So, thank you, gentlemen. My aim is to open n number of schools all over the globe. My target in 2025 is 100 schools globally. Right now, VIP's International School is a Cambridge school and awarded with Best Inspirational School Award from British Council.
Honored to be here. Thank you, Zia. Thank you, ZSC. Thank you for recognize my work. And yes.
I came here 2 years back. I met Zia 2 years back. So I came as a makeup artist from the British Counseling, I guess. Hey, Zia?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I came to do the makeup for the designer, actually. So that day, that's okay. That day I was a simple and calm-going woman. That day I felt like when I will be going to the stage and when I will take an award, this kind of thing. All the time I used to think, and even I have a vision. If from I think from 10 years, not 10 years, I think 14 years, I guess.
Everyone says for a successful man, there is a woman. But I can say here truly that behind this man, our sir is a hero and role model for us. And we should really thank Venugopal sir. And we should be like him and inspire our women to do their hard work and be a successful.
Good evening, Andarki Namaskaram. I'm Romana Sinha Sehgal. I'm the Peace Ambassador of India CPS, recently appointed, as well as the title holder for Mrs. Universe Successful 2018. I am a social entrepreneur and I am the founder of my organization Serendipity. It's my august privilege to be present here today at the ZSC TV Leadership Summit and Awards. Heartiest congratulations to all the lovely winners, and it was a great congregation to see all of us come forth and discuss our views and focus on business, entrepreneurship and art. Namaskar and Jai Hind.
आज GSC TV के तरफ से हमारा मित्रों ने जो लीडरशिप समिट ऑर्गेनाइज किए हैं उसके लिए मैं उनको अभिनंदन और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। आज जो लगभग 50 लीडर्स ने जो यहाँ आए हैं, इसमें भाग लिए हैं, वो अलग अलग रकम के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चला रहे हैं। वो कैसे आगे आए हैं, कैसे चला रहे हैं, कैसे उसको आगे ले जाने की उनको तायद दिए हैं, उसके लिए मैं बहुत उन सबको अभिनंदन करता हूँ। आज के दिन में जो वो खुद एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चला के, एक संस्था चला के हमारा राज्य को ही नहीं, हमारा देश में वो वेल्थ क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, धन क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, युवा को भी वो नौकरी दे सक रहे हैं। इनको देख के जो नायक जो है, लीडर्स जो है, उनको देख के हमारा युवा पीढ़ियों को मैं आह्वान करता हूँ कि उनके तरह आप भी आ सकते हैं, आगे जा सकते हैं। तेलंगाना की तरफ से आपको यहाँ जो भी काम शुरू करना चाहेंगे, टी हब है, वहाँ भी आप ट्राई कर सकते हैं। इंडस्ट्री के लिए अगर लैंड चाहिए, कि पानी चाहिए, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी चाहिए, सबके लिए जो स्कीम्स प्रोग्राम्स हैं, आप आगे आइए। हमारा राज्य के लोगों नहीं है, बाहर राज्य के भी भारत दिवस से हम आह्वान करते हैं कि सबको यहाँ आमंत्रित करते हैं, आइए बोल के। धन्यवाद।
ZSC में जो है डॉक्टर्स भी है, बिजनेसमैन भी है, आप तो आज पॉलिटिकल भी आ गए, तो आप कितना सपोर्ट करेंगे?
नहीं, सबको जो भी काम करना चाहते हैं, आज के दिन में हम अगर देखेंगे कि यहाँ का इकोसिस्टम जो है, इंडस्ट्री चलाने के लिए भी, बिजनेस चलाने के लिए भी, जो रकम के लिए जहाँ के भी लोग होने, कहें कि यहाँ के लोकल भी हो सकते हैं, बाहर के भी आ सकते हैं, हमारा हिंदुस्तान से भी, जी यहाँ अगर विदेश से भी आ सकते हैं, यहाँ काम करने के लिए, काम शुरू करने के लिए हम आह्वानित करते हैं। उनको जो भी सुविधाएँ चाहिए, हम पूरी कोशिश करेंगे। जो आज की दिन में जो तेलंगाना जो बन के अभी 5 साल भी हुआ नहीं और एक 1.5 महीना होने से 5 साल होगा, कि हमारा दिल्ली में जितना भी अवार्ड फंक्शन होते हैं, सब अवार्ड फंक्शन में तेलंगाना का नाम जरूर रहेगा। कम से कम एक अवार्ड तो रहेगा, कम से कम अवार्ड रहेगा। वो किसके जरूर से होंगे? ऐसे युवाओं के लिए जो शुरू किए हैं, इंडस्ट्री, बिजनेस, कॉमर्स, स्कूल्स वो किए हैं, उसी के लिए हो रहा है। उसी लिए मैं चाहता हूँ कि जो उनको उदाहरण लेके हमारे युवा पीढ़ियों आगे आने के लिए मैं आह्वानित करता हूँ। उनके लिए जो भी सुविधा हम कर सकेंगे। आज के दिन में तो पॉलिटिकल स्टेबिलिटी है, यहाँ के हिंदुस्तान से जहाँ से भी आएंगे 2 घंटा में यहाँ पहुँच सकते हैं, सहूलतें हैं। और हैदराबाद की जो एक तहजीब है, गंगा जमुना का जो तहजीब बोलते हैं, वो भी नहीं है कि वो उससे ज़्यादा भी है। यहाँ का सब कल्चर का एक सिंथेसिस है, यहाँ एक मिलित है। यहाँ आज आप जब देखेंगे कि चारों कोने में जहाँ भी देखेंगे, ये तेलुगु के राज्य के एक हेडक्वार्टर बलिया नहीं है कि पूरा हिंदुस्तान का हेडक्वार्टर बलिया है।